Hey everyone, my name is David, and this is the first video on my channel called Coming Back After Cutting Back. Right now we're just at the park, just taking in the views and everything like that. Nothing crazy going on. I wish there was a nicer lake in front of me, but this was the only best place for the sun, so the sun was like right on my back when I was in front of the lake, so this is the best we got. As I start getting into this intro for the video, you're going to kind of see what the channel is going to be about. But it's really just about letting go of anything that's holding you back, and yeah, I've been kind of like, I wrote down a bunch of words, and I kind of prepared a whole thing, but I don't know, still kind of nervous. Anyway though, hello, my name is David, and this is episode 1 of Coming Back After Cutting Back. At the beginning of 2021, marijuana became legal in Arizona. I was curious about what this substance could provide for me. I had no idea that my first trip to the dispensary would be the start of a drug addiction. I had no idea this drug would take 3 years of my life away from me. This channel's purpose is to document my journey of sobriety. I hope to inspire people that are on a similar journey. It doesn't matter what the addiction is or what's holding you back. Life can be beautiful once again. We just need to be honest with ourselves and be brave.
That is like the way the water.
As I mentioned, my first trip to the dispensary was in 2021. I didn't really know anyone at the time that used it consistently. Unfortunately, I didn't do much research on using in moderation. I know I could have, but I always just saw marijuana as something that makes you feel good, and I didn't really see it as a negative. I honestly didn't even know it could be addictive. When I first started, I was in college, living in an apartment at the time. I was pretty nervous about my room reeking like weed, so I read somewhere that cartridges or carts were a lot more discreet and didn't smell as much, so I didn't have to be anxious, by the time I had to move out of my apartment, about my room smelling and reeking, But the downside was that cartridges, they have an insane amount of THC in them. I'll put some definitions in the video, but the science behind it. But essentially, cartridges versus flower, cartridges, you were just gonna get, it really only takes you 1 or 2 hits to get to that level, where flower is more of a steady high, if that makes sense. I should have planned out my sessions. I should have said, I'm only gonna smoke on the weekends, for example. But I set myself up for failure. After my first session, all I knew is that this made me feel good, that whatever was going on in my life, weed would make it better. You can't do that though. First, it was using when I got home from work, and then it was smoking to help me fall asleep. I would even wake up in the middle of the night and use as I just really enjoyed the feeling. My dependency on this drug really became present when I would smoke before each activity I did, or task I would do throughout the day. If I was about to eat some great food or junk food, I would smoke. If I was about to watch a funny movie or show, I would smoke to enhance that. Video games, watching sports, things I used to love to do naturally. It just felt like something was missing if I didn't, have THC in my system. My joy for life was fading, and I didn't even know it. My organic dopamine really wasn't a thing for me. It was really just hard to, honestly, the marijuana and this drug was the only thing that was giving me my dopamine, which is awful because there's so many natural ways to get it, but it just tricked my brain into thinking that this was the only thing, kind of going off script, but yeah, even though I would realize the amount of sessions I was having and how many hits I was taking and how often I was, using, it didn't really bother me. I was living in an apartment, I was in my room, I was isolating myself in my room a lot of the time. There was a time after college where I was in a studio apartment, living by myself, so I guess in my eyes it was if I'm by myself and I'm not hurting or harming anybody and I'm content with it, then it should be fine, right? Everything changed in August of 2023 though. I had moved in with family as I wasn't doing the best financially to find a new place after my studio apartment. I quickly learned that this lifestyle I was living wasn't going to work anymore. My short-term memory was shot. I wasn't present in the moment with my loved ones. I wasn't emotionally available for people that needed me. I wanted to be sober more than ever. Or at least cut down on my usage to improve my memory and cognition skills and stuff like that. I went to college and I got decent grades, and that just feels like it was just forever ago and it's all in the past, you know, and it's kind of embarrassing, I don't know. I kind of pushed that away. My goal was to only use after everyone went to bed once I started living with my family. You know, I wanted to be as sober around them as possible. I would always feel guilty if I wasn't. You know, that way if I was high, I was by myself and I wouldn't feel guilty. And this was when I realized I had a problem. Even with every reason to cut down my usage, I couldn't do it. Weekends would just be filled with sessions throughout the day. There were times I would smoke where I couldn't wait, you know, till bedtime, like right when I got off at work and stuff like that. For the longest time, I really believed I could moderate my use, but because of how I started, that would never be possible. Unfortunately, I just didn't do enough research, and I just went into it blindly, unfortunately, and here we are. To wrap the story up, the year and a half that I spent with my family was eye-opening. It killed me inside that I couldn't remember certain events throughout the day with my loved ones. Days went by like nothing, weeks, months went by like nothing. I was losing time. It just became a really like, I don't know, like depressing cycle, or just always feeling like stuck and never gonna break through, you know, you're never gonna feel free, you know. It just felt like I was on the sidelines watching my loved ones, you know, just get older and older. And I couldn't really do anything about it, you know, life was just a blur. But fast forward to now, a couple of weeks ago, I realized my memory, my cognitive skills, relationships, and natural joy for life again wasn't gonna come back unless I quit. So on Tuesday night, on December 11th, I decided to have my last session and throw away all my supplies and equipment. And this is the first time I've completely quit. As I mentioned before, even though my struggle was weed specifically, this addiction was weed specifically, I want this channel to be a life for anyone desiring to make a change in their life. If I can inspire a few people to make a change in their life, that in itself would be incredible, because I honestly, this thing took 3 good years of my life away from me, and I've been off of it for a week, which is amazing, but you know, my memory's still not all there. I still have a lot of brain fog, you know, and it's scary, you know, and I'm only 25. I shouldn't be dealing with this, you know. And so I don't want anyone ever to have to go through this. I'm not saying that weed is an awful drug. It's actually an amazing drug if you use it the right way. It has tons of benefits. But the way I started, I didn't go about it smart. I didn't go about it slow, and that's what happened. And so if I could prevent all these people from starting, you know, fast like I did, that would be awesome too. But like I said, if I can inspire a few people just to make a change, that would be awesome. That would make this channel worth it. And honestly, for me, I'm doing this anyway because, you know, more than ever, I need to keep busy. I need to be productive and just keep my mind off of, you know, the cravings and stuff like that. I just need to keep going and pushing forward, you know. And coming out to the park and recording, editing these videos when I get home, uploading them, you know, I just think it's going to be good for me. I think it may be good for people out there, and, you know, you never know. I had a feeling that this would be a good thing. I don't know, I just wanted to try it. So I also hope to lead people down a smarter path when it comes to cannabis. The reality is that marijuana isn't a bad drug, as I mentioned. It has so many benefits, especially for medical use. But if you go into it without moderation like I did, the drug will eventually stop benefiting you. There will be no more positives. I don't want anyone to feel stuck in this cycle like I was for years. As I mentioned, as I'm recording this video, I will have made it through my first week being sober. Last Wednesday, I think. Today's Wednesday. Last Wednesday morning was like the first morning I woke up, which is nothing, you know. And so it's officially been a week, which is really exciting. I hope my journey encourages people to be present in the moment. You know, this drug really kind of blinded the natural beauty that you can find in life. When really there is so much beauty, you know, like there's so much to look forward to, and even if it may get dark at times, you know, you can't use substances, you can't use drugs to mask that. You know, you have to face it on head on, and that's something that I didn't do, and you know, now I'm paying the price for it. I am on the right track though, so that's better. So I'm feeling good about that. The last thing I want to say is that if I can find beauty in life again, if I can, you know, like I mentioned, I used to love watching baseball, watching football growing up, and playing video games, for example. And nowadays, it's like, it just doesn't give me the same joy, and it's not because I don't like it anymore. My dopamine receptors are just so messed up that marijuana is literally the only thing, I guess that kind of triggers it, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know, I have a leaf in my hand. So I just can't wait to hopefully watch a football game and not be like, wow, what is missing? Like, because literally I would watch sports and I just wouldn't be happy until I got that in my system, you know? And that is terrible. That is terrible. Essentially, this channel is just gonna be me creating content and just trying to give people hope. And like I said, you do not have to have struggles with marijuana to get anything from this. Like, I really want anybody that's dealing with anything to, you know, take something from this. Wrapping this up, if I can find beauty in life again, then you can too. This is coming back after cutting back.
I've been waiting all my life to live the one I'm living now. I'm the one that gotta live it, so I went missing. Catalog cabin, money in the mailbox. Catalog cabin, mountains in the background. Money in the mailbox, catalog cabin, yeah. It's been a good year, I ain't tired of it. Been in Cali 7 damn years, now I'm tired of it. Way too much traffic in Texas, I'm tired of it. Way too much plastic, fuck that shit, I'm tired of it. Kissing on your lips, now I recognize the feeling. Never force a vibe, that's the easy way to kill it. When it stole your heart, I ain't mean to be the villain.
Yeah, so I don't really know the structure for, you know, videos right now. Really, this first video was just meant to kind of, I guess, lay out what this channel is going to be about, my story, my background, and stuff like that. After this, I'm hoping like each video I can kind of like talk about a topic that's like really important to me, or just kind of give encouragement or advice, or just do something that just gives people hope, you know. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's definitely going to be being outside a lot, getting some sun. I want to go for runs, but I gotta get like stuff to carry my keys and stuff like that, because I have a backpack on right now and I just tried running and it's weird, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside. Sun's shining bright.
Take your leave and take my time.